Standing at the height of my side, a beauty that you cannot deny. Oh, I love the Serengeti.
Welcome back to the channel. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Let's jump right into it. Earlier this year, the AstraZeneca vaccine was taken out of circulation in Europe as well as the US. And what happened next was donations of that same item these particular countries are not using for their own citizens. They were donated onto Mama Alkebulan. The Congo has received some, I believe Zimbabwe, Mozambique, South Africa, just to name a few, as well as Kenya and others. In this process, how did these nations decide that this was not good for their own citizens, but was good for other countries, so that they can put these into their citizens? We have to ask ourselves as to why, if it has been deemed as unsafe. This is what we call geopolitics that are not in work in melanated people's favor. So now a tweet goes out a few days ago that talks about the UK government banning people, well, not banning, but not recognizing if people have been vaccinated in Africa because they cannot verify the accuracy of people's cards to show proof. But they are not banning Americans to enter their country. And as you know, when this thing first started, a lot of fake cards were being circulated as they originated in China. These cards were also sold on eBay. People could buy stacks of them. Since then, eBay has scrubbed their site from selling these types of cards. However, I can tell you, you can get these cards in other ways. I will not get into that into this particular video. But what we should understand is the finish line continues to be moved. As you all should know, there were no pharmaceutical labs that were designed to create this level of medicines that on the continent of Africa that could be sent throughout the continent. There were no labs that could do that. Most of the countries on the continent received the bulk of their meds from India. If you do not know, India is the powerhouse in terms of medicines being created worldwide. Also, AstraZeneca was made in India. So if they found problems with that and it wasn't good for their citizens, now are you only saying it is good for Africans? I have not seen any African leaders come out and dispel this. All I have seen is issues related to tourism. Tourism does generate commerce for many nations, including the US. But let's say this, for those on the continent who are seeking to travel, have they visited all of the 53 nations, excluding South Africa? That's why I said 53, on the continent? There's so much to see, but have they visited these places? No. Most people on the continent are trying to go west. I am not saying that they per se shouldn't, but have you checked at home first? Have you checked at home first? I am an advocate for Mama Alkebulan, but I'm also going to call out the hypocrisy of some of the leaders who are not doing their due diligence for their own citizens, in that when you think about Western societies saying that you're not good enough, but yet they still want your resources, what is being done about these resources? As you continue to see the scroll on your screen, you see a lot of comments from different people, and they're all over the place. But my contention is we are not going to talk about fairness, etc. What we're going to talk about is a continued system of racism, which is why you see the chains on the foot and the hands breaking them on your screen. I am not an advocate for this type of treachery. You continue to play in our faces. And yes, in the thread, you have a lot of South Africans who are speaking out against this. And lots of them are saying, well, why don't we withhold our gold and our diamonds? Yes, all of that. If we have a full 100% black regime, it should be for the people, of the people, and by the people. So other people will know how to treat us. On your screen, you will see some comments that you should take note of. I thought these were quite eye-catching, if you will, okay? Because what you're going to see is a continued and renewed spirit of change all on the continent, because the numbers are low. The numbers are low. The numbers are low. And here is a most corrupt countries map that you see on your screen. Take note. See what you can see. And know that the issues that face the continent in terms of corruption, there's also corruption in Europe. We have to be mindful of that. This is not an isolated event. Let's wake up, people. Wake up. It's time to wake up. Yes. If we as a people do not fend for ourselves, who will? Dr. John Henry Clark says that us black folk, we have no friends. Therefore, by deductive reasoning, we should only be friends with ourselves. And he said that particularly because when you think about during times of strife, who are the champions for the black man? No one except for us. No one is willing to get on our cause unless they're going to get something in return. No one is going to advocate for us more so than ourselves. It is our duties as a people to be more inclined to take care of one another like never before. We have to understand they're going to continue to change the end and the finality of where we stand on planet Earth. So our survival depends on us. Let's join forces. Thank you.
It's the best. There's so much to look at, so much you can invest. Can't even look back. Africa is the best. Afri Ethiopia, Mama Kebunan. Africa's my home forever. Afri Ethiopia, Mama Kebunan. Africa's my